Hi all. In the previous session, we learned about air cargo and its different terminology and different types of cargo. So today, we are going to discuss about air cargo fundamentals. So here we can see how the air cargo became a major revenue for the airlines. Cargo is the source of revenue for freight operations and can also be a significant portion of passenger airline revenue. We know that there are different types of aircraft are there to carry air cargos, right? So here we can see two major companies, that is Airbus, another one is Boeing. In Airbus, there are different series are there like Airbus 220, Airbus 300, 310, 320, 330, 340, 350 and 380. That is the biggest aircraft that is created by Airbus. Okay, next one is Boeing. In that also we can see different series, that is Boeing 707, Boeing 717, 727, 737, 747, 757, 767, 777 and Boeing 787. Here we can understand that different configurations of aircraft are there. Based on that only the space which is occupied or the cargo is carried in the aircraft. You know that cargoes are mostly carried in the belly part of the aircraft. So here the upper deck is occupied by the passenger seats and the belly part is occupied by the cargoes and the passenger baggages. So different aircraft it's configured in different manner and different species are there for carrying this air cargo in each aircraft. Next we can move to a typical air cargo terminal has three main users. Yes, normally we are seeing that air cargo is terminal is using by three major roles, that is airlines. First one is airlines. Of course, there are different types of airlines are there like Jet Airways, SpiceJet, Indigo, Emirates, Qatar. So the different airline peoples are using this air cargo terminal. Second one, air cargo terminal operator, that are the operators who is transporting the cargo from the land to the aircraft. There is a movements are done by these people. Again, the third one is forwarders or cargo agents. That is, they are the major role in this cargo terminal. They are taking this cargo to the airport for the transportation. Who all are the principal contributor to the revenue of air cargo terminal? Here, an air cargo industries, it's related with different, so many industrial supply chain connections are there. Like I can say that as air cargo industry incorporates an industrial supply chain which includes airlines, customs, ground service, air cargo forwarders, brokers, domestic transportation, air cargo terminal, distribution center and integrated international express services. These are the main contributors which is related in this supply chain, which is connected in this supply chain of the air cargo. Again we can see that air cargo industry is focusing on cargo standardization beyond organizational boundaries. So that is the main reason why they need a different air cargo tariff, airway bill and the measure of purposes for the effective management of air cargo operation for carrier and consignment. Because of this standardization, they require all this. We are focusing on airway bill, cargo tariff and everything. Okay. Next we can see, we already discussed there are different types of cargo, but still I want to discuss some important points here like human remains. You know that what is human remains, right? Human remains means hum, or we are calling as a hum. When a person is migrating to some other country for any other reason like job or studies or anything like that, unfortunately its death is happening there or death is caused. In that case, his body is taken back to his native place. In that case, we are taking his body as cargo. So there are certain procedures which is IATA it's following to transporting a hum to the other in an airlines. Okay, so we can see here air cargo can include such as varied items as electronics equipment, automobile parts, fresh produce and human remains, etc. So human remains it also comes under the major cargo. Cargo can be shipped in various forms including unit load services, that is ULD, that allows many packages to be consolidated into one large container or pallet that can be loaded onto an aircraft, wooden skids or crates, and individually wrapped or boxes pieces known as loose break bulk cargo. Okay, so we can see what individually what is ULDs, what is wooden skids, all these things we can see here. Types of air cargo. In the previous session, we already discussed about different types of air cargo. And here, I want to point out that human remains, that is also transporting as air cargo. What is human remains? If a person is traveling from one place to another, leaving his own native place and moving to other country for studies or any other job purpose, and if unfortunately his death is happening there and his body is taken back to his native place, in that case his body is transporting as human remains or hum to the native place. Okay, and for that transportation there are certain procedures which is IATA is following, that we want to follow for the transportation in an aircraft. Here we can see air cargo can be include such as varied items as electronic equipments, automobile parts, fresh produce and human remains, etc. Cargo can be shipped in various forms. So we can say there are different types of cargo, and it is transporting in various forms also with the help of different equipments. So various forms including unit load device, that is a main important major role for the transportation of air cargo. So what is unit load device, that we can see later, that allows many packages to be consolidated into one large container or pallet that can be loaded onto an aircraft, wooden skids or crates, and individually wrapped or boxes pieces known as loose or break bulk cargo. So we can see what is ULD and each of these equipments connected with. Here we can see the image of break bulk cargo. This one is pallets versus skids versus crates. This we can call pallets or crates. Okay. This is also how the cargo is loading inside an cargo aircraft. This is only for this aircraft is maintained only for the cargo. So let's see what is ULD, pallet and containers. On passenger aircraft, cargo is carried in the lower hold, as I told you, in the belly part of the aircraft. On freighters, cargo is also carried on the main deck. In large aircraft, cargo is loaded and carried in various pallets and containers known as unit load device. So in big aircraft, we can't load cargo individually to the belly or hold portion of this aircraft. We are loading it in a, we are consolidating it in a ULD, that is unit load device. Again, we are loading that unit load device itself into the aircraft. Okay. This unit load device has been developed from materials supplied by IATA, that is International Air Transport Association, and the ATA, that is Air Transport Association of America. There are different specifications for different cargo purposes. So we can see there are different cargos are there for different different ULDs are there for different cargos and based on the different configuration of aircraft. Here we can see that LD1, LD2 and LD3. Here you can see here that is 60.4 inches, 61.5 inches, that is its width, and again 233.7 centimeter, that is 92 inches, its topper portion width is coming. Okay, this is the one image which is loading based on the different configuration like Airbus, Boeing, 737, 727. Based on that configuration, this ULD's position and the dimension also will get changed. And this is the other one, same like the first one, LD1, LD2, and this finally this is LD3. This is the bigger, mostly we are taking it for the bigger aircraft. Next one is wooden skid. What is wooden skid? Wooden skids are the workhorse of the industry. These skids are constructed for multiple load bearing and generally used by the manufacturers for overseas product shipment. We can use this wooden skids for the bulk consignments and all. It will make our work so much easier. Next one is loose cargos. As I told you, like break bulk cargo. Loose cargos are available on all aircraft and routes with 4500, 250, 500 and 1000 kg weight. That is for the loose cargos. And the other category is dangerous goods and cargo aircraft. Dangerous goods are only we are loading in the cargo aircraft. We will not take that DG into the passenger aircraft because of the safety and security problem. So that is CAO, cargo aircraft only, and oversized pieces are acceptable by prior arrangement for good carried on passenger and freighter aircraft. Definitely if it is a bulk, heavy bulk cargo, we want to take the dimension and we want to make the arrangements for the loading, before loading into an aircraft. So prior information should be informed to the operator before we loading, if the such kind of goods or such kind of cargoes are there to load it in the aircraft. Next is pallets, containers and igloo unitized system. Until the early 1960s, air cargo was generally loose loaded or combination and freight aircraft. As freight traffic increased, paralleling growth in aircraft size, economic operation could be maintained only by limiting the turnaround time of freight carrying aircraft on the apron. Rapid loading and unloading can be achieved by unitizing loads. Various unit load devices are currently in use are containers, pallets and igloos. In the earlier time, normally the air cargo was very low. At that time, we are using passenger aircraft for the transportation. But later, the size of the air cargo is increased. In that case, we want to limiting the turnaround time of the freight carrying aircraft on the apron itself. So we are calculating the time, and in the turnaround flights and all, we are moving the cargo in the apron itself. All these things we are doing because of the shortage of time and the increasing the volume of the cargo. So we are using certain pallets, containers and igloos for the fast movement of this air cargo for make our work much more easier. So let's see what it is. Let's see containers. Rigid body containers are used to protect air cargo and to ease the handling of numerous small individual consignments of air cargo. We know that small cargoes that we can't take it alone to the aircraft. So in that case, we are putting it together or consolidate together to these containers, and we are taking these containers to the aircraft. So in wide body freight aircraft such as the Boeing 747, which we seen in the earlier slide, was capable of taking modular international organization for standardization, that is ISO 8 into 8 feet. So normally in the wide body aircraft such as Boeing, which is capable of taking a big containers, in that case we are taking the ULDs in such bases. We already seen in the earlier slide. Containers in 10, 20 and 40 feet in length. That is not, we can't, in that dimension we can't take in the aircraft. So what's the solution for that is, these containers are not as intermodal. However, since tire weight consideration limit their structural strength, so we are changing their structural strength. That is the reason why ULD in different dimension that we seen in the earlier slide. ISO aircraft containers can be rolled but not lifted. It can be rolled but it's not lifted. Special low height containers are built for the lower holds. So different ULDs that we are different type of ULDs that we are taking into the aircraft based on its configuration. So the lower hold or wide bodied freight and combination aircraft we are using it's a ULD in such dimensions. So figure 6.1 shows that container loading arrangements. Typically lower hold containers are contoured and have maximum dimension of 64 into 92 inches and 64 into 186 inches. You can see in a model for that. This is the how we are taking the air cargo to the belly part of the aircraft. Here these are the space for the taking this space for the containers. Okay, these are the belly portion, and upper side it will be the passenger seats assigned, and this is the portions where the containers are loaded. Next one is pallets. Pallets are devices providing a rigid base suitable for forklifting on which cargo can be loaded. The load is held in place by nets, and the complete load can be manhandled, forklifted or moved mechanically as a unit. You can see that there are inside the aircraft there's a roller wheels are there. Roller wheels are there. It will make our it's a bigger load. Pallets can be moved easily through these roller wheels. Okay, this is how it is loading inside the aircraft, and it can be easily manhandled and forklifted also. Okay, next we can see igloos. Igloos are rigid body pallets used primarily to prevent damage. The main intention of this igloo structure is to prevent damages. Okay, damage to cargo or to inside the aircraft. So if during the takeoff and the landing of the aircraft, the edges of these containers will get hit by inside the aircraft and it will cause damage. To avoid this, the structure is maintained like an igloo model. Okay, so it is how it is made is it's converted. This passenger seats are converted into the cargo model flight, like cargo model, usage friendly model. It's built it and as converted into flight for the freight usage. A structural igloo is a fully enclosed shell structured integrally with a pallet to ensure that cargo conforms to required contours, and the shell and the pallets of the igloo form a single structural unit. A non-structural igloo is a bottomless shell that fits over the pallets to give a shape to loaded cargo. The shell is used in conjunction with the pallet but adds no structural strength. You can see an image for that. And this is the image. Then it will be easy for you to understand more easily. Like this is how in a wide body aircraft, but it's a passenger aircraft also. In the upper side we are assigning the seats, and the lower deck or the belly part, that's we can load the cargoes. So this is the unit load device for this flight. Okay, and the unit load device is tagged in such a manner it will be easy to take the air cargo in a smoother manner, and it will not damage also because it's in this structure. Edges are in this dimension, so it will be easy to take the for the transportation. So that's it. So now we come to know about different equipment that we are using for the transportation of an air cargo. Okay, next we can move to the other session. Next we are going to discuss types of carriers. Air cargo carriers. Air cargo services are provided by a segmented group of air carriers that provide various services based upon wide-ranging customer demands. So based on the customer demands and the increase in the air cargo, we are selecting different types of carriers for the transporting the air cargo. So we can see what all type of leading carriers that we are using for air transportation of air cargo. The following four basic type of air carriers provide these services are: integrated express operators, they are the leading one; all cargo carriers; commercial service passenger airlines, definitely commercial passenger airlines also that we are using for the transportation of air cargo; ad hoc cargo charter carriers, that we can see the front open air carriers. These are the carriers that we are using for the cargo transportation. First one is integrated express operators. FedEx, UPS, DHL, Atlas Air and Prime Air operates a fleet of scheduled aircraft, trucks and couriers offering door-to-door delivery services. These carriers operate extensive hub and spoke networks providing expansive geographic coverage. In 2003, integrated express carriers accounted for 61% of the US domestic air cargo market, yet held only 12% of the international market, projected to increase to 31% by 2019. Here, I like to show a video for you, so it will be easy for you to make you understand that how much this integrated express operators are delivering their service in this industry.
With the order of 8 new wide-body freighter aircraft, we underline our conviction that e-commerce is an enduring megatrend. This is why we decided to act early and kick off 2021 with this investment in our future, said Pearson in a statement published January 12, 2021. Atlas Air, an American cargo and passenger charter airline, was created in 1992. In terms of fleet size, the airline is currently the fourth largest in the globe. Atlas Air only runs Boeing-built planes. According to PlanetSpotters.net data, the airline now has 103 aircraft in its fleet, with an average age of 20.3 years. Only 10 of those 103 planes are used for commercial and military passenger charters. The remaining 51 Boeing 747, 26 Boeing 767, 9 Boeing 777, and 8 Boeing 737 freighters are entirely for cargo. It is worth noting that Atlas Air is the world's largest operator of Boeing 747 freighter aircraft, as well as the only outsourced provider of Boeing 747-8, with a fleet of 56 747. The world's largest 747 operator intends to add more Queen of the Skies to its fleet. Boeing stated on January 12, 2021, that it had secured an agreement with Atlas Air to build the final Boeing 747 aircraft. Atlas Air will add the final 4 747 to its fleet in 2022. The 747-8F is the best and most versatile wide-body freighter in the market, and we are excited to bolster our fleet with the acquisition of these 4 aircraft, John Dietrich, Atlas Air President and CEO, said on January 12, 2021. Amazon Air, previously known as Amazon Prime Air, was established in 2015. The cargo airline was created specifically to transport Amazon packages. Despite its youth, Amazon Air is one of the fastest-growing cargo carriers, with 73 freighters in its fleet, according to data from Planespotters.net. The airline's fleet consists of 51 Boeing 767 and 22 converted Boeing 737 freighters. It is worth mentioning that some of their freighters are operated on Amazon Air's behalf by other cargo carriers. Amazon Air operates out of more than 35 airports in the United States. Amazon will begin air cargo operations in Europe in November 2020, marking the company's first expansion outside of the United States. The Leipzig airport in Germany serves as Amazon's first European hub. Because of its strategic location and expertise in air freight operations, the airport was chosen. Leipzig Airport is already number 2 in the German air freight business and number 5 in Europe. We will invest heavily to expand our position. This will benefit the region but also the whole of Germany as a business location, Götz Ammelmann, chief executive of airport operator Mitteldeutsche Flughafen said, on November 5, 2021.
So now you see this video related to the different types of aircraft carrying the air cargo. Next session we can move to air cargo today. The passenger revenue is that air is a premium cost transportation mode compared to any other service system. We all know that compared to any other transport system, this air carrier is the higher cost. Higher cost transportation when we are taking this cargo from one place to another. So we can say that it is cost far more to operate an airplane than to run a truck, ship, or railroad car. Computer companies regularly ship by air. Definitely most of the computer companies are opting air other than any other mode. Shipper of perishables such as fresh fruit, flowers and fish use air transport because they have no other way to reach the worldwide market. In a short time span, they want to reach in different part of the world, so definitely they opt air services. Okay. Research and development funds needed to produce a vehicle better suited to the carriage of cargo. So that is the reason why air cargo is booming in today's world. Next is importance of air cargo. During periods of recession, cargo revenues and cargo traffic are found to contract disproportionately in comparison with passenger revenues and traffic. However, passenger airlines which also concentrate on carrying cargo claim that cargo operations are comparatively profitable even when fully allocated costs are considered, but especially profitable on a marginal cost basis. Since 1970, cargo operations and the traffic have been influenced by a number of factors. So, as we all know, today's air cargo it's gaining a huge profit for these airline companies as well as the freight forwarders. So definitely we can see the coming years in the changes in this air transportation as well as the booming of this, the graph structures are gaining in this coming years. The freight industry itself underwent a conversion to the use of unitized load, that is containerization. Mainly firm integrated their production and transport functions using the newly developing tools of physical distribution management, that is PDM, highly efficient, low cost, just in time JIT techniques were adopted to manufacturing, wholesale and retail business. There was a rapid and widespread introduction and adoption of wide-bodied aircraft capable of accepting larger unit loads. So these are the main changes. These are the main changes in this air transportation industry. Okay, so that's it. Thank you.